What's going on, you all? You guys, I love you. All right, we're back again with another video. We are about to do a wonderful interview with a life coach, and my name is Tillman. All right, and his name is Andre Hills. He's a life coach out of Atlanta, Georgia, and he's been my coach for a few weeks now, and I just really appreciate having the opportunity to do this interview because it is going to be epic, and I know you're going to receive a ton of value from it. So that's always something that gets me fired up. So with that being said, also too, like I get to learn a little bit more about Andre, which is great, right? Because there's some things that I don't know. You know what I mean? So I'm glad I get to be here. You guys get the benefit from it. It's a win-win. It's the only way to do business. So with that being said, why don't you tell us, what is coaching all about? Because so many people, they think that, oh, coaching is this or coaching is that, like they just know what it is. Or maybe they don't even know, who knows what they do. So why don't you even enlighten on that aspect of everything? Like, what is coaching?
Okay, I'll be glad to do that. Before I get into that again, I just want to thank you for again taking the time to do this interview. It means a lot to me, and I really, really appreciate it. So I just dive right in. Coaching. What is coaching? And I'll say this: when people first think of coaching, they compare it to a lot of different things. They'll say, "Well, it's like therapy, right? Or it's like counseling, right?" They always say that, But the biggest difference between coaching and all of the rest of, everything else is that as a life coach, I don't give advice. I think that's one of the biggest difference. I don't give advice. My clients think I do. Like by the end of these sessions, they think that I did it all, but it's not really me that's doing it. It's them. My job as a life coach is to listen deeply and ask powerful, open-ended questions to get people to tap into their own wisdom, right? That's powerful in itself. And when I say own wisdom is because we always say we don't know. Like, I don't know. But I challenge that. I challenge that as a coach. I just challenge that as a person. And I would say that we do know, right? So it's my job to help people figure out what's best for them. It's my job to help people realize that they do know. If that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. That's really powerful because, like you said, a lot of people think that they don't know, and it's more of about tapping into their own wisdom. But sometimes we need a little bit of a push to do that or to shed some light on some of those dark areas. So right. I definitely understand what you mean by that. I guess my next question would be, what do you enjoy most, right? Like, what do you enjoy the most out of coaching?
That's actually a great question. I would have to say, and I'm not trying to get out of answering the question, but I would say that I enjoy everything about it. We always say that if we could find that one thing that we could do all day without getting paid, that's our purpose, that's our passion. Well, I found mine, and I'm grateful, humble for that. Really, I am. But if I had to narrow it down to answer your question, I would say it's really about creating a shift, right? It's really about creating a shift. In the coaching community, that's what we call it, is creating a shift. So when someone calls me or when a client calls me, it's not that it's bad, right? Because nothing has to be bad in order for you to hire a coach. It's all about elevation. So coaching is all about elevation. This is where I am. This is where I want to go. I'm unsure about how to get there. Okay, so really that's what it's about. So when someone calls me, or if I have a client call me, I listen deeply, like I said, and I ask powerful, open questions. But it's my job to get that light bulb to go off. Remember I said it's really to get them to know or realize that they already know. When that light bulb goes off, to me, that's what we call creating a shift. And I usually feel it as well as the client. So that's what I enjoy the most, because it's like that aha moment. It's like, wow. Like I just heard myself, right? Like I didn't even know, but I just heard myself. And when I heard myself, I realized that I knew. So I usually feel that moment. So that's why it's so powerful for me. So I would say that that's probably the thing that I enjoy the most.
Wow, that's powerful. That is very powerful. That's like taking a trip from here, to Florida, or where I live, it's in Houston, Texas. That'd be like me taking a trip from here to Florida and not knowing how to get there, and you're like the guy that I call so I can know how to get there, that roadmap, so to speak, in my mind.
Right.
That's perfect, you know. Well, I'm very fortunate that you found what it is that you love to do, because a lot of people are in that particular situation, which is something that you may be able to help them out with as well. But what I really want to know, and I'm sure a lot of other people out there want to know, is how does coaching relate to you and your life?
Oh wow. Okay. You know, I love powerful questions. I love powerful questions because that's what I do. You know, that's what I do for my clients. That's what I do for a living, is ask those powerful questions. Whew. I think I'll start at the end and then go in reverse. I would just say this: having an entrepreneurial spirit, I would say I was always that go-to person, right? You know, the ones that the friends call, the one that the family call. Like if something's going on, I was that person. So one day I just said, how can I get paid for this? You know, it just makes sense. Like, how do I get paid for this? So that's where it started on that side of things. But when I look in retrospect, it's really my story. It's really, really my story. And I guess I'll just go into a little bit right now. Um, Personal stuff, right? Now, I'm in the hot seat, and that's okay. That's okay.
I see.
That's okay. But I would say this. My mom got killed in a car accident when I was 13 years old. And I raised my brother until he graduated from high school and joined the Navy. And that was really, really a challenging time for me. It was really like the most challenging time for me. Again, I was 13 years old. And I'm going to go actually a little bit deeper because I remember the night that it happened. We were really super duper close, like super close. Like my mom was my everything. So my stepdad actually came in the room and he turned on the light. And when he turned on the light, I was sitting up on the bed and I looked at him and I said, I know. And then he said, you know what? And I said, I know. Because I felt it. I felt the impact. That's a whole nother story. I'm not going to go too deep into that, but I felt it. So by that time, he woke my older brother up because we was in the same room. And within 5 seconds, he was in the car. I mean, underwear, socks, in the car. So, I mean, that was a big deal for me. That was the first thing. And then after that, I would say a year and a half later, I walked in and found my grandfather laying on the floor and he had passed. You know, and it was just he and I staying there. It was just us two. And I walked in. I remember it was the last day of school of the 8th grade. And I walked in and I saw him laying on the floor. He was in the guest room and he never goes in there. So I was like, well, maybe he sleeps. So I'm going to go outside and I'm going to ring the doorbell. Hopefully that'll wake him up. Needless to say, it didn't. That was it for him. And I would just say, you know, he pretty much died of a broken heart because my mom was his baby, you know. So all of that was just challenging for me. But really just being there for my brother, my younger brother, I mean, just him not having what he needed was not an option for me. Like it just was not an option. He had to do it. So whatever that meant for me, so I think that's where the nurturing spirit comes from, and that's where wanting to make sure people are okay comes from. But I would say this, I'm gonna just connect all the dots because again, coaching is really about listening. And I'll say this, okay, I think that in retrospect, I don't want to say I think, I pretty much know that when my mom's time came, I know that she knew it was time, right? Because she went to all of her friends and she said, if anything happens to me, I don't want my boys separated. She made it a point to see every single person, right? And she saw my cousin and my cousin said, you coming home for Thanksgiving? And she said, no. No, she said, yeah, you know me and my boys will be here. And then she said, oh no, let me change that. I'm going home by myself. And not that we could change things, because we can't change it, right? But how could somebody not hear that? So that's why it's so important for me. So even before I became a coach, listening was so huge for me. Because again, not that I could change it, but if I don't have a good feeling about it, if I hear you say something that doesn't make sense, I'm gonna do what I can, you know. So listening is huge. So once you add up all of those things and understand this is the short version, I could go on and on and on. Because at this point, I'm still 13, right? So it's still first chapter. But I don't want to, you know, I'm not going to go there on this video. But so the listening was huge for me, being there for my brother, having that nurturing spirit for him, making sure that everything's okay. That in a nutshell, if I had to sum it up in the short version, it would be that. So all of those things from the end where I started from the beginning. There's a lot of middle, so I'm sure there'll be another video, and I would love for you to interview me just about the story because that'll be a lot to talk about. But in this one, I'll just keep it like that. But that's what it is for me. That's where it came from.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's something I didn't even know, y'all.
I know.
And I've been working with him for almost a couple weeks now. So look at that. Y'all got some extra. You know what I'm saying? So that right there is a powerful story, though. You know, I'm sure that there's a lot of other people out there that definitely can relate to a lot of the things that you were saying, which is good, you know, because then they'll be able to relate to you and they'll be able to say, you know, this is somebody who is not somebody who just like went without struggle or didn't have to go through anything and just decided to become a coach. Like this is somebody who went through some things, overcame some things, and they decided to become a coach to help other people, which is very powerful. You know, that says a lot about you and your character.
Right, and that's what I wanted to say too, and I think that's the reason why, another reason why I do what I do, because I know what it's like, right? I know what it's like not to have support. I know what it's like not to have guidance. I know what it's like to be at a crossroads, as we say sometimes, and not know which way to go. And I would say for me personally, all I could do at, I would say 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, all I could do is make the best decision I thought. So because I know what that feels like as far as the guidance and all of those things, that's why I just want to be there for somebody else. So that's another reason why I do what I do. So I'm very, very passionate about helping other people. You know, again, it's all about elevation. You know, we can't stand in the same spot all the time. Like we're here, but we gotta get here. And if you're confused about it, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What can you do today to help you get to the next level? What can you do right now? You know? So, yeah, that's what it is for me.
Man, that's something serious right there. You know, even the question that you just had right there about what can we do about getting to the next level. Well, I think we're basically laying the groundwork for that right now. You know, they need to, I mean, because this is true. You know, sometimes you don't have somebody to look at you objectively, and that's may be what the missing link is, right? Because you may hit a ceiling, and it, like you said, has to be nothing wrong with you. You know what I mean? You may be just somebody who hit that ceiling and you don't know why. You need somebody to look at you objectively and shine that light on that dark area, and boom, you know, you're able to break through your ceiling and go to the next level. But it doesn't have to be something wrong with you. You have to take drugs. There's something wrong with you. There's not have to be nothing wrong with you just because you want to go to the next level. It makes perfect sense. You know what I mean?
Right. So I would say this, and I appreciate your passion, right? I do. I would say it's three questions. You know, when I think about life coaching and I think about what I do, I'm really concerned about three questions. No matter what the topic is, right? Because one of the first questions that I ask my client when they call me is, what do you want to talk about today? Right? So whatever they talk about, it's still three things for me. Where are you now? Right? Where do you want to go? And how do you get there? The answers are in you. The answers are in everybody. I just help them get it.
Mm.
So where are you right now? Where you want to go? How you gonna get there? Figure that out, then you're good.
Man, that's something serious right there. Now, I was looking around on your website and I saw that that you call your business is called the Delta Influence.
Right.
How did that come to be? Like, why the Delta Influence?
Well, I remember it was about almost 5 years ago at this point. I was just sitting down thinking, like, what am I going to call it? What am I going to call it? Because my vision was to have my own business. I didn't know what it was going to be at the time. But then once I went through all the coaching certification and all of that, I was just thinking, like, what am I going to call it? Like, what would mean a lot to me? And the reason why I chose Delta, first of all, because mathematically speaking, Delta means change, right? And that's what we're talking about. About. You know, if we don't change, we're not growing. If we're not growing, we're not changing. You know, so it's really about the change. And then it's the influence, right? As a coach, as a leader, you know, not just myself, all the other leaders, you know, we want to have the influence. We want to influence people in a positive way. So if you put it together, it's the influence to change.
Mm. Mm.
So it means. I mean, it's changing is the influence. So the influence to change, we have to change. We have to keep changing. We have to keep growing. And my favorite quote is, and I think I said it to you before, but my favorite quote is, "Nothing changes if nothing changes."
Woo! That's the one I love right there. Nothing changes if nothing changes.
Which means in order for things to change, things have to change.
Mm.
Delta, right?
In order for things to change, things have to change.
Well, because right, because how can things change without change? Like I don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea. So that brings me to my very next question. Where can we find you? Right? Somebody is looking to sign up right now. I know they want to sign up because if they don't make a change, then they're going to be stuck doing the same thing, dealing with the same problems, having the same questions rolling around their head, and be living the same life. Who wants to do that? No one. So I know that they want to find you. How can they find you? How can they sign up? What is the next step?
Well, my website is called, just remember the Delta Influence, right? So it's just www.thedeltainfluence.com. On that website, you can find everything because outside of the one-on-one coaching, I also have programs. I have a 10-week coaching program, which is amazing. Like, it was my very first program that I developed. Like, I wrote it myself. So I'm really, really proud of it. I launched it last year. It did amazing. It's still doing amazing. And I have about, I think at this point, it's about 8 6-week programs, which also are amazing. So you have that on there. You also have, it's the Angle. The Angle is actually another division of my company. It's part of the brand. They can read about that. What else is on there? Oh, I'm so excited about this. It's perfect timing for this interview because the newest addition to the brand is called Project Do It Scared, right? I'm so passionate about that. And the reason why I'm so passionate about that because again, I've been a coach for about 4.5 years right now. And I would say the one thing that holds people back these days is fear. It's fear. So then we have to say, okay, well, what is courage? Well, courage is moving forward in the presence of fear, right? Let's say that differently. Courage is doing it scared. Do it anyway. So that's why I'm really passionate about it because I just want to, my vision is to create this environment where people could just come support each other as they overcome their fears, right? Because we all have fears, but to be in a community where everybody is okay with saying, yeah, that scares me. But then you have 50, 60, 70 people saying, yeah, but you could do it. Do it anyway, right? That's what courage is. So that's the new, it was like a soft launch yesterday. So I'm really, really excited about it. Yeah, but www.thedeltainfluence.com, you can find all those amazing things. Also on Instagram is at Creating Forward Movement. Again, that's what it's all about. It's about change. It's about moving forward. So at Creating Forward Movement. And on Twitter is actually lifecoach_ATL. Oh, Facebook too. Actually, Facebook. So it's www.facebook.com/Creating Forward Movement.
Okay. So Creating Forward Movement is going to be on your Facebook. It's on the Instagram. And then when it comes to the Twitter, that's when it's the Life Coach ATL.
Right.
Okay. But the website, deltainfluence.com, where they could get a chance to look at all the programs. And, Project Do It Scared, which, by the way, tell them a little bit about Project Do It Scared because I think that they're assuming, that with the coaching package and then with the programs, like just let them know, like what the Project Do It Scared is going to do for them, like even financially.
Well, see, this is the thing. It's really about, again, if I had to just sum it up, it's really about support, because everybody doesn't have support. Everybody doesn't have support. And I'll say this, there's a light end of it, there's a heavy end of it, right? So on the light end, and I'm connecting this to coaching too, because on the light end, a person could, let's say, they have a goal, they're not sure about how to reach the goal. Well, actually they are sure, they're just scared to do it, right? But it's not a lot, but they're just scared to do it. So that's the light end of things. But on the heavy end of things, you know, you could have this young female that's in abusive relationship, you know, and she knows she needs to leave. It's the best for her and best for the child, but she's so afraid. You know, who does she have? She doesn't have support. There's no support. So I just want to create this community where there's no longer, or we can't say there's no support. You know, it's 100 people in it, right? And everybody's saying, if you need anything, let me know. Yeah, you know what you need to do. Go ahead and do it. We'll be here for you. So for me, again, that's what it's about. Even on the financial side of it, you know, I think sometimes on the financial piece, on the financial side of things, it's one of those things because we have a lot of people that's afraid to move forward, right? But then I have a lot of people, it just may surprise you, but there's a lot of people, and I have a lot of clients that's actually afraid of success. There's a lot of people out there that's subconsciously afraid to succeed, right? So another thing about it, I really just, my ultimate goal, and I'm working on it right now, is to have some leaders, right? Some leaders. There's not only coaches, you know, there's people dealing with finances. So, I mean, because there's some things out there, you know, I'm not going to give it all away. I want you to go to the website to see, but there's some things out there on the financial piece of it, on the therapy piece of it. So all these things. So I just want to let everybody know that if they join this community, it's really all about support. So what I encourage everybody to do today is just go to the website and at least join the forum. The whole program is free. It's not about me. It's about the people, right? It's about us supporting each other. But just join the forum, because that's the place where we're going to go be able to communicate, to go put your fears out there. It's okay to put them out there so we can see, so that way we'll know how to support you, because we can't support you if we don't know. So the forum is a really huge deal, and all these things are available right now today.
Wow. See, and that's what I really wanted them to get, because, you know, that's powerful. I mean, you're not joining a community where you're constantly seeing negative statuses go across your screen about people's problems. We're talking about a community of people that they could join up with a forum for free and have the support that they need to face their fears, to conquer their fears, and to have somebody who encourages them, even if there's nobody in their life right now that's able to encourage them. That's powerful stuff. I mean, we're not talking about somebody tweeting about the new sneakers that are out. We're talking about somebody who, when you're down and out, you're able to say, hey, I got this going on. What do you guys think? What can I do? And you're supported by a community and a family that's willing to uplift you, encourage you, and empower you to move you forward in your life, and so that you don't feel so alone, right? A lot of times people feel so alone with things going on, and you're saying that you have a community available for people to sign up for free, where they can actually not feel alone and take control of their lives, their mind, their spirit, and also do it along with a community and a family full of people that are all doing the same thing. Who would not want to be a part of that? I can't think of any person that would not want to be a part of that, not support that. So you guys can go there. That's Project Do It Scared, if y'all didn't hear it before, and go sign up for the forum right now. Go sign up for the forum today. Be there for somebody else, and let somebody else be there for you, right? That's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Right.
So
we say it's free, and I just want to be clear that it is free now, and it's always going to be free. It was created to be free. And the reason why I decided to put it on the site is because people get free sample sessions as well. So it's all there together. So if you join the forum and things get a little heavy, right? Because one thing that happens when we are identifying our truth is things tend to get a little heavy. But you could click another button and get a free session. Like it's all about elevation. That's it. It's all about elevation. It's all about helping people, supporting people get to the next. I mean, supporting them as they get to the next level. That's what really is all about for me.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I want them to go sign up right now. I don't got nothing else to say. Did you have any final words? Because they need to go sign up right now. Open another tab up, all right? Open another tab up, because we talking about elevation, baby. We going higher,
Right.
higher. And I'm not talking about TVs. So, you know, definitely, you have any final thoughts for the people today?
No, I think I'm good. I just want to say again, thank you. I appreciate you sharing your time. And again, just don't be scared, you know, and just don't settle for less. If I had to sum everything up, don't settle for less, right? you can get what you want. You can be what you want, you know, but you have to take the step, right? You have to at least take the first step. And I think for a lot of people, this would be the first step. Understand, again, this is not really about me. You know, it's not about me, it's about the people. So I just want to encourage everybody today, take the first step, period. I'm good.
And that's the hardest step. But at least you got somebody to do it with you, right? I mean, come on. Why not? If you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting.
Right.
And so I'm amped up, y'all. Let's go. Y'all better open up a new tab right now. Because if you don't, I'm about to come over there and open it for you. So that's all I got to say. You all have a blessed day. Make it a great one. And it's been Tillman Givens and Andre Hill signing out.
Thanks a lot.